intense, or I like might miss yours. But like I surprisingly, like my nervous system is so much more calm. Just like you say, your nervous system is calm. Like without my like with my absence, like my nervous system is calmer operating at my place. Or like I've even said, oh my gosh, like your mom's house is so cool. It'd be so cool to like I like my nervous system is even calmer operating at like your mom's place, or like my mom's place I just visited, or even like when we're away at like hotels and stuff. So like I guess it like that has been like something that I noticed. And I guess like because I was talking to Romina about some of this, and like she's been with her guy for a couple of years. We've been together for a couple of years. So we've actually we started talking about like she told me like years ago that her boy.
Hey Eddie,
Hey Nick, can you hear me?
I sure can, man. How's it going?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
Real good, dude. Real good. Kicking butt and taking names over here.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, having a
Yeah.
having,
Yeah.
having over a year.
Alrighty. Um,
Yeah. So I saw your campaign ended about a month ago. I got your stats pulled up here. Do you want to cover those real quick?
yes, please, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So this is your stats, I believe, from your most recent campaign. Looks like it ended on 10-6, if that sounds right. Um, and yeah, things actually turned out pretty good with the results. I'll go over those with you. So with the cold calls, we did about 3,000 dials. 383 people picked up the phone, which is a shitload of people. That's for sure. Um, and that was a 12.7% contact rate. So tons of people picked up, which is awesome. And then those came to 11 leads. Now, with um, cold calling, 11 is really a great number. I always say that if you're averaging 2 leads per 500 dials continuously, then you're definitely going to be positive ROI, because 500 dials is only 200 bucks. So that would be, what's that? 10 time. So 20 leads would be $2,000 essentially, right? And that's like worst case scenario only on the texting. But our clients report that they close a deal one in every 20 leads, worst case scenario, right? So if your cost per lead worst case is $2,000, that's great. And then that's just on the calling. Okay, so you're right on line with what we like to see for positive ROI potential. Okay. Um, to go deeper into your stats, out of the 383 people that answered, 79 told us that we had the wrong number. Okay, which isn't a lot at all. So about 79%, we also had a 79% accuracy rate. So 79% of the people that picked up the phone did own the piece of property that we were calling about, which is great news. So
Mhm.
very accurate, a lot of conversations, and that's why the calls went pretty well. Then for text messaging, this went really good. And our text messaging results is even a little better nowadays because so many people are banned from texting at the moment because of all the restrictions. So
Right.
we found that our texting results have actually gone up because a lot of the competition is shut down while they're squirming to get back up and running. But we did 1,500 text messages. 132 people replied, which that's about 8%. That's perfectly average. And then 11 of those people became leads. And that's really good. That's almost a lead, one in every 100 texts. Um, I came up to 3.6 leads every 500 texts, which is really, really good. So the texting, in my opinion, overperformed. The cold calling averagely performed. But a total of 22 leads on the King Kong for houses is really good. Normally, what I tell people for that package, because it averages 8 to 38, is if you're doing houses, I would expect 8 to 20. And if you're doing land, I would expect like 20 to 38, like more on the high side. So you were on the high side of the house expectations for campaigns, just so you know.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I guess, it looks good. And, I guess from my end, whenever I see the lead comes in, like, we get a lead and then it's like someone says it's on Zillow, it's like, okay, well, not really a lead. Or, hey, I want $200,000 for my $50,000 shack, then, not a lead.
Right.
So, we've gotten a couple of those. And so, we have them in our, CRM, we're following up with them, but, right now, they just, I don't know if it's like an us issue or what it is. I don't know if it's just the way that the market is. I kind of suspect a little bit, not to
Yeah.
have excuses for myself or anything, but right now the market is a little bit weird. People want too much for their properties. And so we actually in my organization, we kind of started a kind of a little bit of a different approach to it, but now, we're offering to list properties for them, or they can take like our fast, cash offer, and they can use our cash offer as like the backup, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
and so, we didn't really, when I was using Lead Mining Pro, like the last King Kong package that I purchased, we didn't really have that in mind. It was more about, cash offer. Oh, you want too much money for
Mm,
it. We'll call you every 2 weeks for the rest of your life until you say no. We didn't really go into,
right, right, right.
so,
Well, no,
so
and you're definitely right. So it's like one thing I say about cold calling versus direct mail is cold calling, you get the whole spectrum of leads, right?
mhm.
Direct mail, they're either FUs or yes. You
Yeah.
know? And to your point, we have to like broaden the approach a little bit because the spectrum is so wide, right? So it's like, and I think you guys are making the right move. And to another point, just so you know, is my clients do report 1 in 12 to 20 leads do end up closing. Okay. So if that's the case, then that also means that 1 in 11 to 19 don't. Okay. So what I would do is like when you're like, oh, is it us or is it them? I wouldn't get too much in that, but I would say once we're around 20, one thing some new advice I've been giving people is act like you're a detective hunting for a serial killer. Okay. Like if you got an acquisition manager, take out all the leads, analyze all of them. If we got 20 leads, one of these should be either under contract or extremely close, period. Right. That's kind of how I see it. So,
And I agree with that too.
yeah,
I know wholesaling kind of got weird for us, at least like during summertime, but I mean, I think that's absolutely right. Usually, for every like 5 or 6 appointments that we'd go on, we'd be getting
right.
something under contract. But it's just totally changed. I don't know if the market is like maybe oversaturated with different wholesalers as well, especially like out of state wholesalers. And so I kind of actually wanted to ask you, um, when it comes to virtual wholesaling, I mean, like, maybe just, maybe Mobile is just too small of a market. Maybe that's just an excuse I'm telling myself. I don't know, but
Yeah. I
maybe.
don't think size necessarily has a lot. I mean, generally the smaller the better, or the
Mhm,
smaller the more lead flow.
mhm.
So I don't think size is as relevant as you may think. It's like, I mean, it really depends on what's happening with the leads. I mean, I think we may have chatted about this last time, but in my opinion, the best strategy is cash offer, creative finance, novation. Like down in that order, right? Okay, hey, we could pay this much cash. I can't do that low. Okay, I can do creative financing, but it's going to get you your money over a long period. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay, well then I can get you more money, but we're going to have to list your house, and then I'll handle all the repairs if any come up, right? So that's generally the best approach. I think with 22 leads and your strategy that you explained, that you're really onto it, I would just really find out, like, look for and you may have this answer, look for the pattern in the market. So like saturation shows up in a lot of different ways. In some markets, saturation looks like no leads. Okay. In other markets, saturation looks like every lead wants way too much money for their house. In other markets, saturation looks like everyone's grumpy as fuck, but they're still leads, right? So,
Right.
like knowing those avatars, I would like look at your market and be like, where are we? What kind of saturated are we? Is there really nobody that's close? And I guess what I'm trying to say is I would look at your system one more time before I abandon your market, is just the advice I would give. And worst case, the system gets better and you still abandon your market. Best case, the system gets better and you convert more leads in your market. But I will share with you from a numerical standpoint, and again, not the field, not what happened on the phone when you called them, not any of that stuff, but from a numerical standpoint, the campaign looks really good for houses, numerically standing. Okay. So I do just want to share that, if you go into another market, you might get 12 leads instead of 22. I'm just being honest. You might get 15 and you know what I mean, or something like that. Here, your contact rate was great, 12.7%. It's the highest contact rate I think I've seen in the last week and a half, just so you know. So it shows that the fish are biting, right? We're having the conversations. And so, I would just consider your system one more time and then pick a market. But I'll also be honest with you. I think you've got the perfect kind of market in this market. So I would look for a similar market to this, but elsewhere. That would also be my other piece of advice. I wouldn't say go to, what's the big place in Alabama?
Maybe like Birmingham or Montgomery or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the big
Yeah,
ones.
like, I wouldn't necessarily say go to the metro areas at all. I would say go to more places, suburban with somewhat popularity is what I would aim for.
Okay. Okay. Well, is it too late for me to take you up on your offer? I think last time we spoke, we kind of talked about maybe like a kind of like a trial thing or something. Because just to be transparent with you, funds are a little low with Christmas coming up and whatnot.
Yeah. What was the offer?
I don't remember. Whatever you would be willing to help your pal Eddie out with.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll definitely, I can give you guys a 20% bonus on your next order as well, so no matter what you guys buy, I'll chunk it up. So if it was this one again, you'd get 600 dials for free and you'd get 300 texts for free. And we'd also pull lists and skip trace more as well.
Okay.
I'll totally do that for you. And prices do go up Friday. So I would maybe scoop something before Friday as well. But yeah, I'll give you a 20% bonus on whatever you buy.
Okay, let me take a note of that. Okay, and just out of curiosity, what are your prices going up to for King Kong and 10 week?
Not much. Everything's going up like 8%. So the King Kong I think is going to be 1,400, and I think the 10 week is going to be like 6,800 or something like that. 68. Okay. Yeah, it's really not much. This is my first time raising prices in 6 years, and I think it's a little overdue because I think I'm also going to be getting a salesperson, and I think this will pay for increased costs and the upcoming salesperson at the same time too.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, let me ponder that then. And let me see what I can do. Let me see. I kind of want to try the 10 week for sure, but I'm thinking like after the Christmas season, like that's when I like, so I stopped like a lot of my marketing because I think I still got a ton of money in my CRM and we're just combing through it. I'm gonna do what you said and reevaluate my systems. I'll look through all the old leads that we got and I'll see if there's
Mhm.
something that we're just missing. And I was thinking maybe after Christmas or something. I mean, or I mean, what do you think? Like, do you know? I mean, from from me doing this for a couple of years, I know that the holidays are kind of like almost like a dead time. Not quite. I mean, we're still getting some deals coming in, but it's just not as good as regular
You
time of the
know,
year.
well,
Uh,
here's what I would recommend. And just so you do know, I do offer um, a paid in full discount for the 10-week Titan as well.
hmm,
I take $300 off if you pay it in full.
okay.
Um, just so you know. But on top of that, my suggestion would be to start. I have a theory, and that is at the end of the year, our jobs are easier on us than they were before. So we have more mental bandwidth, right? We're coasting at work. All right. Um, I think we also realize we need more money because now we're buying our kids gifts and we're buying Thanksgiving dinners and we're realizing how expensive thing. I personally think that right now is a good time to approach. But the cool thing about us is you buy the Titan, you start, results are low. Hey, you know what? Pause this. Or hey, you know what? Go half as slow till the end of the year. Let's go instead of it doing 10 weeks, let's plan it for 30 weeks over until the first of the year. And then once the first of the year hits, let's finish it in January, kind of thing. Right. So just so you know, there's a lot of flexibility with us where
Okay.
if we start and the leads aren't flowing, we pause and go, hey, you know what? Let's put this on hold. Let's pick it up. Or we could slow it way down and go, hey guys, just do 500 dials a week until the new year, right? So just so you know, so you have a lot of control. But my suggestion would be to start because a lot of people are about to have a lot of bandwidth to even consider selling their house, in my opinion. You know,
Okay. And can I ask you this as well? So when is there like any way that I could get like maybe like a couple recordings of like whenever your cold callers reach out to someone, just to kind of see how they're
Mhm.
sounding.
Yeah, I can send you over some recordings right now. And the beauty of using Americans is, you're getting the people that sound the best. So I just put some recordings in the chat
Got
as
it.
well. So you'll get. I think I don't know. I think there's quite a few in there, so you'll be able to listen and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, and I know whenever they call, I know they're trying to get as much information as possible. I think there's like a list of like maybe like 12 questions that your cold callers try to ask.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of wondering, because I mean, I don't know, seeing it from my perspective, if someone was calling me and if I was trying to sell my house, and if I'm on the road and they're asking me about roof age or mortgages or whatever the questions are, I'm wondering if it's kind of like a, hey, like because we were kind of getting a lot of, hey, do research, call me back whenever you figure it out, or come look at the property. And, I don't know if like maybe that's throwing people off. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I'll look into it, man, and we'll see. I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe it's my systems, maybe there's something going on. Something's wrong, obviously. I got to figure out what it is. So, we're
Yeah, I'll
working on
have my team send me copies of your leads. Why don't I have them do two things? Why don't I have them recompile all of the leads and send them to you?
it. That'd be
Okay.
great.
So you can see everything, and then I'll have them send them to me too. Okay, and then I'll take a look and I'll be like, hey, like some of these look, great, or hey, I see the saturation points like we spoke about, right? Like I said,
Mhm.
it always shows up differently.
Right.
Saturation might, and if everyone's kind of giving us that, you do the work and call me back, that's another sign of saturation, right? Like what you just described. And because you'd be surprised how many people will have the whole conversation with us and how many people do chat with us about it. But yeah, I'll take a look at those too, and I'll give you my opinion as well.
Okay, for sure. And yeah, let me reconsider. I may just do another King Kong. I got to look at the funds and see what I have for
Yeah,
like my my spend. But I would like to get to a point where I'm just buying a 10-week Titan, heck, every 5 weeks.
yeah,
Because I mean,
right.
because I personally buy these properties myself, and I got 4 other guys in my office that do the same. We all buy properties, so and we have a pretty big cash buyers list. But honestly, we don't even need a cash buyers list. We're all just trying to buy. So as much as we can get, we want to do that. So
Yeah.
let me ponder it for a little bit, and I
Okay.
guess once we're ready, we'll just go on the website and order. And then how do I get that 20% bonus
Just,
or
I would just text me after you order. I'll tell my team manually,
Okay.
whatever it is. I'll let them know.
Okay. Cool. All right.
I rock and roll, Eddie. Let me know if you need anything else, brother. You can always call me or text me if you need anything too.
All right. Sounds good, Nick. I appreciate your time, man, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah, you got it, brother. I'll see you.
All right. Thanks. Bye.